Yo, what is good guys? Welcome back to another video where today we'll be going over the Game Week 19 matches in the Premier League and predicting the scores as well. So Newcastle versus Nottingham Forest is going to be the first game. Now Newcastle have been not that good this season. Few days ago they actually lost to Luton Town 1-0. And their form is kind of on and off at the moment, and it will be a tough season for them in my opinion with these injuries. And Nottingham Forest have not been that good as well. They haven't won a game in the last 7 games, and Cooper has been sacked, and now they have appointed Nuno Espirito Santo for his position. And my prediction for this game is going to be a 1-1 draw. And we move on to Sheffield versus Luton Town, underrated matchup right here. Sheffield finding their form again. Chris Wilder doing a good job, and they drew against Villa, conceded very last few minutes though, which is unfortunate. They could have got that win. And Luton Town have been great. This team is playing some very nice football. Managed to win 1-0 against Newcastle, and I'm a big fan of how they play. To be fair, they've been playing some really good football, as I said. And my prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Luton Town. Now we move on to Bournemouth versus Fulham. Bournemouth have been great, playing some really good football. As we mentioned, for all of the teams that are playing well, and Solanke has been finding his form, been scoring almost every game, which is very impressive. A team to look out for, in my opinion. And Fulham, on the other hand, they're doing okay, and from doing so well to losing 2 games back to back. Managed to lose to Burnley 2-0, and that surprised me. And it's going to be a good fight for both of the teams here, and my prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Bournemouth. Now we have Burnley versus Liverpool. Burnley doing better now in terms of playing good football. They're starting to play better football as well, and managed to beat Fulham 2-0, as we mentioned. And a clean sheet is huge against a team like Fulham, so that's a positive for Burnley. And Liverpool, on the other hand, a very dangerous team in the title race right now with Arsenal, and they actually played Arsenal this past weekend and they drew 1-1, and Salah scored the goal to tie it up for the Reds. My prediction is going to be a 3-1 win for Liverpool. And we have Man United versus Aston Villa. This is probably the biggest game this week. Big game right here, and Man United have been mudded, winless in their last 3 matches. Lost against West Ham 2-0 this past Saturday. And Rashford, I don't even know what's going on with this guy recently. And Aston Villa have been very good. Apparently our title contenders surprisingly did drop points versus Sheffield. And Zanolio managed to actually get the equalizer very late into the game. And my prediction is going to be a 3-1 win for Aston Villa. Now we move on to Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. Now Chelsea have been not good, if we're being honest. They are struggling bad, can't get anything going. And Kunku scored on his debut last game, and Poch needs to do something. He needs to find something that works, which I almost say every single video. Crystal Palace, on the other hand, I've been in decent form, managed a draw versus Brighton and Manchester City. And Elise is a baller, as we all know, Eze as well. And this could be a decent game, if I'm being honest. And my prediction is going to be a 2-2 draw between these two sides. Now we have Brentford versus Wolves. Could be a pretty decent game right here. Been struggling for form recently. Actually lost to Villa 2-1 in their last game, and they are without one of their key players in Buemo. But Wolves have been in okay form. They actually managed to beat Chelsea 2-1 this past week, and I did not expect that at all. Wolves do play some very nice football, I have to admit, and I'm predicting another draw. It's going to be a 1-1 draw. And Everton versus Manchester City. Looking forward to this game. Everton have been in some very good form recently. They got out of the relegation zone, even with their 10-point deduction earlier into the season. And they had a tight game versus Spurs where they lost 2-1, playing some nice football recently as well. Manchester City, as we all know, a very, very dangerous team. KDB is back in training as well, and that's good news for Manchester City fans. And they've been struggling to get their wins recently, but once they hit their third gear, it's almost impossible to stop them. It's crazy how good they start playing once they really take it very, very seriously. In my prediction for this game, it's going to be a 2-1 win for Manchester City. And we have Brighton versus Tottenham. Yet another very, very good game. Brighton have not been too good. Dropped in form recently, and I'm not sure what's going on. The players that were doing well before seem to have disappeared or like dropped off in form a lot. And it's very interesting to see. Hopefully they'll find their form soon, because they play very good football. They're probably one of the best teams in the Premier League at playing good football. Now Tottenham have been in decent form, I would say. Found their form again after a few losses. Charleston starting to find the net for Spurs, and they will most likely look for a center back in January. My prediction is going to be a 3-1 win for Tottenham. Now we have Arsenal versus West Ham, the last and final game of this week. Arsenal have been in very good form this season, sit top of the league by just 1 point. They drew to Liverpool this past weekend. They have conceded the same amount of goals as Liverpool, which is 16 in this season. And I keep saying this, but Declan Rice has been so good for Arsenal. And West Ham, on the other hand, are having a very good season. They made a good decision in bringing in Kudus in the summer, and they beat Manchester United 2-0 this past weekend. And Kudus has been balling out recently. He's been doing so well, and it's going to be a very solid game here. And my prediction gonna be a 3-1 win for Arsenal. Now thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy. Don't forget to drop a like, comment down below your predictions, and don't forget to subscribe as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.